film. As the kids were a little bit older, you came back to film. You started to do a few shorts. I know because they were mine.
They were yours.
What then led you into teaching? Because a lot of people know you as the acting teacher here. Because of the success of your students. Isn't that a good thing to say?
It's a lovely thing to say.
The success of your students who have now gone worldwide and, on the Ellen DeGeneres show. And,
I know.
It's actually propelled your teaching as well in the eyes of a lot of people. You must be doing something right, And now that's two worlds there. So people look at you as a mother. She's obviously done a successful job because look at her 4 sons. Look at her success stories of her actors. And then you headed into teaching where I was getting at, and you became a very good teacher. Where did that come from?
That's really easy. It's really easy. I had consciously made a decision in my head that as the children were growing up, my priority was the kids. Not at first. At first I thought, I could do this all. I'll just pick up my 4 kids, go to Sydney, come and live with you and Jocelyn and go for auditions and just keep hitting on doors. I never had a problem doing that. And I had no fear where that was concerned. I looked at it as something that was really exciting to do, get in the face of people, you know what I mean? And say, look what it is that I can do. And so I didn't have a problem with that. But then, suddenly you had to come down to earth and go, hang on a second. You are a single mum. You're working 3 jobs.
With 4 kids.
With 4 kids. And there was a lot to think about because they were still going through schooling and everything. So it was really hard. So I was sitting there going, well, I can't pursue this because this is not the right time to pursue it.
Sure.
Because my kids are everything right now. And because I was the only parent, if you know what I mean, their dad was obviously, dad was around, but their dad was quite far away.
Yeah.
So it was me. And if I didn't look after them, then what was going to happen?
Yeah.
And I wasn't prepared to risk
Yeah.
my children going off the rails. Just wasn't
Risking career is one thing, but you
no,
can't do it with
no.
your kids.
So I made a conscious decision I was going to pursue acting. That's what I consciously made. And it didn't hurt. It didn't hurt because that was just the way it was. The kids meant that much to me, so it wasn't. So then it was truly, you know how you hear that, what is it? You hear that thing where, if you don't make it if you can't make it as an actor, then you'll most probably fall back to teaching, that kind of thing. I felt like that. I felt like, well, it's not like I can't be an actor because I know I have the capabilities.
Sure.
I know but you know what? Doesn't matter. I've decided not to do it. So, and I've got lots of knowledge to impart.
Yeah.
I didn't know how great, how good a teacher or how great a teacher I could be. I had no idea at that stage. All I knew was I knew the craft. Do you know what I mean? And a lot of the craft that I knew wasn't taught by the training that I did. A lot of it was, but a lot of it is you. You are training. I was training all the time, watching films, doing monologues,
Sure.
Looking at dialogue, finding different ways of immersing into a character. I never got told all those things.
I know.
You did it. Fern knew Fern more than anyone else did. So I knew what would push my buttons. I knew how I could learn. I knew Fern was a practical person and not just all books and theory. Okay, so Fern, get in front of the mirror or get into a room and imitate this. Do you know what I mean? So a lot of the learning I did myself. So a lot of that I bring into the classroom now and say, look, it worked for me. Don't know whether it worked for you, but it might work for you. Try it this way. Try it this way. And a lot of the time, I can honestly say 99% of the time I've had actors come back and, you know what, Fern, it worked. You know what, Fern, you're right. But it's getting the actors to find their way.
A lot of the learning becomes the teaching too.
Yes.
So you're learning as you're teaching. And I think with acting, a lot of it is psychology. Most of it is psychology of understanding human behavior, character.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you had a reservoir of experiences. leading
And
up
also,
to
you've
that?
got to remember that my dream back then was to be able to because personal development to me was huge. It changed my life. Like it changed a lot of our lives. Some of the stuff that we learned back then were personal development and mind, what the mind can do and all that. That was a big thing. My dream was being able to put both the two loves of what I love together. So personal development with acting. And then picking up my very first book of Strasbourg and realizing that he felt exactly the same way in terms of personal development. So a lot of his book was to do with metaphysics. A lot of his book was to do with metaphysics and personal development and knowing your boundaries and straight away I clicked because I went, well, this works for me.
Yeah.
Maybe the goal of being able to put these two loves of mine together in a classroom can actually happen.